Hello and a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much as always for joining me, Influences of Times, as we continue in our search for Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. Now, you probably remember from the last broadcast that we did was episode 22, and that was from the DBM factory that we revisited just outside of Birmingham. And I remember I showed you around the enormous hangar kind of warehouse area, and we also went into the main kind of office block, and we looked at all the fire damage that was caused. And so if you cast your back probably about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, that's when we did that broadcast. And then about 20 minutes, half an hour before that, we did episode 21, which was from one of Birmingham's recycle plants. So we did two in one day, and they were both very near the canal, just outside of Birmingham. So we're now at our next location, and this was really a kind of a last minute kind of visit. So not only is there no information that I can give you, but this really is we've kind of stumbled across this location today. But I'm just aware of the fact that it's been probably about a week and a half, maybe a week or so, since our last episode. So I just wanted to try and fit in another one before we do some more going into the rest of the new year. So can I just say, I hope that you all had a very, very happy Christmas. And as I mentioned in my last broadcast, I do hope that this year brings you all the happiness and good times and everything else. So I just hope that you've had a good new year start, as it were, and I do hope that 2017 is going to be a fantastic new year for you all. And can I just say thank you so much for all of you who are either watching live, or for those of you who are going to be watching later today or tomorrow, whenever you're going to be watching. I just want to say a very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much as always for tuning in and for watching and for keeping up to date, and for watching me Influences of Times as we continue in our search for Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. So, where are we? We can probably tell just by looking behind me that we are at our next location. And just before we do that, just before we make a start and go into this kind of thing, just to give you a quick update as to what's going on. Now, not only are you aware that Influences of Times has been running for almost a year already, and including today's location, we would have covered 23 locations. That's 23 live episodes that we've done already, and that's just in the Birmingham and West Midlands area, and we've still got the rest of the United Kingdom to cover. So we've got so much coming up in this new year. Now, as well as Influences of the Times, a lot of you will probably be aware that I do drone photography work. So I take out a drone, I do aerial photography. So I've got not only the Influences of Time series that I'm running at the moment, and obviously that runs on Facebook and it also runs on my website, but we've also got the drone photography as well, which is predominantly the main kind of website thing really. But you're also aware that I do the drone photography Facebook page. Now, I did put a post either yesterday or the day before. I did put a kind of a post thing to say that drone photography would be updating. And I'm very pleased to say that within the next couple of days, it may be today or it could be the next couple of days, drone photography will be updating. So just to kind of, not verify, but just to kind of give you a bit more in-depth information, basically what we're going to do is, the drone that I've been using is going to go into semi-retirement. Now, it's probably about 2.5 years old. It's got several hundred hours worth of flying that I've done with it. And for those of you who've seen me with my drone, you'll know Frank. I've kind of nicknamed him Frank. He's been my flying buddy for the last 2.5 years, and we've done lots of filming, lots of travelling. He's been all over the place, and he's also been a bit of a celebrity in the sense that he's been in the newspaper, he's been to a number of radio stations, so he's a kind of a bit of a celebrity in a way. In fact, he gets more attention than I do. But he's going to go into semi-retirement, which means that what I will do is I will keep the drone that I've been using for practice. So basically what I would like to do, and for those of you who are watching now, or for those of you who are going to be watching like I said, later today, or whenever you're going to watch this live broadcast, for those of you who know me either personally, or for those of you who live near this area, I would like to keep Frank for people who would like to learn how to fly a drone. So it doesn't matter whether you're thinking of getting a drone, or whether you would just like to have a go. Maybe you've never flown one before and you would just like to, even if you're not going to get your own drone, but you would just like to know what it's like to fly one, then by all means let me know, and I would be more than happy, free of charge. I'm not going to charge anything. I would be more than happy to take you out with Frank, and you can have a go, and you can fly him about, and you can see what it's like to fly Frank, and you'll be able to obviously we'll have the mobile phone connected, so you'll be able to see what it's like to fly and actually see what it looks like in the sky, looking around and that kind of thing. So for those of you who are watching now or at a later time, if you are interested, if you'd like to have a go, if you've never flown a drone before and you would just like to see what it's like, then by all means drop me a line or send me a message or an email or comment on one of my live broadcasts, or if you want to catch me at some, just anything at all, email, text, Facebook, anything. But if you'd like to fly a drone, if you've never flown one before, and I'm sure we've all heard about drones, there's a lot in the newspaper and the media, people misusing them, and we've all seen them in shops and that kind of thing. But if you want to know what it's like to fly a professional drone, then by all means get in touch with me, and I'd be more than happy for you to take Frank out with me, and we can have a bit of a fly and you can see what it's like just to fly one, just to kind of give you an idea of what it's like, really. So that's what Frank's going to be used for. He's going to semi-retire, and he's going to be used for people who want to learn how to fly or who just want to have a go at flying. What we're going to do is we're going to be getting a new drone. Now Frank is what we would call a Phantom 2. In fact, he's a Phantom 2 Plus. But what we're going to do is we're going to be getting a Phantom 3. Now, just to break that down a little bit for you, when they brought out the Phantom 3, they brought out 3: Standard, Advanced, Professional. So I'm hoping to get the Phantom 3 Professional, which basically what that means, he's the same size, same shape, he doesn't look any different from the drone I've been using, same colour, everything else, although the camera is slightly different in the sense that it's higher quality, so the photographs will be 12 megapixels, so it'll be a lot clearer and a lot better, but also the filming will be a lot better. Now I don't know if you've seen any of the cam drone photography photographs that I've taken. Sometimes they have a slight curve to the top of the photograph and almost it looks like the kind of globe or earth shape. The Phantom 3 Pro, when it films, it won't have that curvature shape to any of the filming or to any of the photographs, so it will be more of a wide screen look, so we will be able to get cinematic, in other words the kind of shots that you see in blockbuster films, we will be able to get on the Phantom 3 Pro, or crystal clear. Okay, so he'll be able to film in 4K. On top of that, the camera works in a slightly different way. I won't have to use my mobile phone to control the camera, so all the camera work will be done by a simple button or dial actually on the controller itself. So while I'm flying, I will be able to use my finger to move the camera around and to press the record button and to stop recording, so it's a lot easier. And also, if that wasn't enough, this drone is able to go even further, not that I'm going to, but the actual height and the distance in which he can fly will be far, far greater. So in other words, he's a much better drone that we've been using. So that's just to give you an update. So we will be getting the Phantom 3 Pro either today or tomorrow or in the next couple of days or maybe in the next week or so, very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled, because what I will be able to do, the Phantom 3 Pro, when I fly, I will be able to press the live button and you will get a live feed, just like this live broadcast is now. Look, those of you who are watching, you will be able to have a live broadcast of what this new drone is filming. So if I'm flying and I want to take you for a bit of a fly, I can press the live button instantly to Facebook and you will be able to watch a live broadcast of me doing flying. That might be something you might want to see or not, but at least I can do that as well. So it really is a more advanced drone and the technology is absolutely incredible. So that's just to give you a bit of an update as to the cam drone photography. Now let's get back to where we are today. So thank you for all those who are watching. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching. It's good to have your company and have you back. So here we are at our next location. So we've come away from Birmingham and we've stumbled across this place. Now, as always, sometimes with these lastminute.com broadcasts that I do from different abandoned and derelict places, it doesn't really give me a lot of time to do any kind of digging about to find out what these places were or what they were used for. However, on top of that, there isn't actually any reports or any information about this property anyway. So even if I did have time to prepare, there isn't anything about this particular location. However, I'm going to give you a good look about, so it may not be a very long broadcast and you may find this a little bit boring in a way, because there's not really a lot I can tell you about it. In fact, there's nothing I can tell you about it. So I'm going to have to kind of give you a rough idea as to what I think it could be used for. So where are we? Okay, so we've come away from Birmingham and we are now in a place called Stourbridge. So Stourbridge is about 9 miles away from Birmingham, so it's very near Merry Hill and Briery Hill, which are very close by. So we're probably about 9 miles away from Birmingham, and we're in a place called Stourbridge. We're only about a short distance, probably a 5-10 minute walk away from the canal in Stourbridge, and this place caught my eye. Now, it's completely secluded in the woods, totally and utterly secluded. So, I'm welcoming you, without further ado, to episode 23, to this place. Now, I'm going to call this a mansion. I don't know if it was a mansion or if it was a farmhouse, but it's a house of some kind, a very large house. I'm speculating it was a large farmhouse or a mansion, judging by the amount of rooms that are upstairs. So we're roughly talking about 4 or 5 bedrooms upstairs. As you can probably see from behind me, there isn't a lot to really see because there's no upstairs, but we'll have a good look around and I'll take you down into the cellar. There is a cellar downstairs, so we'll take you down into the cellar. So I'm roughly going to say that this property was either a farmhouse or it could have been something to do with a canal. So it could have been a canal house of some kind. It could have been somebody who had something to do with the canal, who worked or had some kind of just something to do with the canal, like a keeper or something. I don't know, but like I said, who knows? This could have been here for a very long time. So there could have been a farm here. This could have been a house that belonged to somebody who was working in a factory. Maybe it had some connection. There's a couple of factories that are no longer here, not far away from here. So this could have had something to do with somebody who owned or worked in one of them factories. I have no idea. All I know is it's a very big house. So I know that's not a lot to go on. Now, year-wise, I'm going to roughly date this house. Now, this is absolute speculation, so please don't quote me. I'm going to roughly date this house. I would say at least late 1800s. So we're talking about 1880s. I'm going to say 1880s, 1890s, maybe early 1900s. So we're looking about I'm going to say 1920s. And I know that's quite a big span, but sometimes when I guess, I like to try and cover as best I can when I think this was built. So I'm going to roughly say about then, late 1800s, early 1900s, simply by its size. You can see the red brick. I'm kind of, it's just typical of the West Midlands. It's just got that typical kind of look about it. Now, I'm not suggesting that this house has been derelict since then. I'm sure, in fact, judging by some of the wallpaper that's been left, I would say this has been derelict since about the 1970s. I'm going to say between the 1960s and the 1980s. I'm going to put a 30-year abandoned, roughly some kind of thing. So we're talking about, I would say about 20, 30 years or more this house has been abandoned derelict for. And the reason why I'm saying that is not only because of the wallpaper, but also because of what's left of this property. There is hardly anything left. So I'm going to say it's been derelict for a good 30 years, 20, 30 years or more. So that will kind of give you an idea. Now, I know that's nothing to go on, and I do apologise because, as always, I like to try and give you as much information as I can. But when there isn't any, I don't like to guess too much because I don't want to give you any false information. However, I'm hoping as we have a look about, and I kind of show you around, it might make up for it in a way, and I know I've kind of said that before. So I'm going to say a farmhouse, a farm mansion house maybe, or something to do with the canal, or a factory or an industry in this particular area. So this would have belonged to somebody who either worked there or something like that. It's just so hard to say. So how's about we have a bit of a look about, because that's really all I can give you, and I'm so sorry that really actually isn't anything. But I did say, and I've said this on many occasions before, that I do want to take you personally to every single possible abandoned derelict place, whether it's interesting or not, or whether there's any information or not. I want to make sure I take you into every single abandoned derelict place in the whole of the UK. So how's about we go and take a look? So we're going to start from the kind of the front, so to speak. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to swipe. I wonder if I can swipe. There you go. So I've just swiped all the people across the bottom to one side so I can see just a bit better. So we're now standing roughly around the front, and you can see all the graffiti, and you can see, if I show you, there isn't really a lot left. You can see upstairs is completely missing. So you can kind of see, so it's quite a big house, mansion. So you've got the chimney behind us, and then it comes all the way across the front, all the way to there. So you can see there's a lot of debris. And we have got a wall here. So this could have been, that could have been the wall to the back garden. We could actually be kind of in the back garden area, and the front of the house would have been that way. but you can kind of see there's a lot of graffiti, there's a lot of bricks on the floor. You can see how much is missing. So if I show you, so it's almost to me like typical Victorian red brick, dated late 1800s, early 1900s, just typical, judging by its style. Okay, so that'll give you an idea. So how about have a look in this room? Like I said, there is nothing to show you, there is no artifacts, but I just want to show you in all the rooms and let you see how big the place is. And then we'll go into the cellar at the end. It's quite dark down there, and I haven't brought a torch simply because this really was a last minute kind of broadcast. This really was. Okay, so we are in room 1. That was it, just walk straight through the hole. So we just walked through the hole and we're in the first room. Okay, so obviously you can, if I just show you, so you can see upstairs, so that would have been where upstairs would have been, so you can see the beams where they would have been. Now this mansion or house, as always, has suffered fire damage, so we've got a lot of beams and things, not only through natural cause and demolition, but fire damage as well. But you can see, and I'm trying to hold the camera still because my hands are shaky, but you can see all the beams that would have been upstairs. So if I hold with both hands, can you see where upstairs would have been? So there's the bedroom door, or one of the upstairs bedroom doors up there. So give you an idea of how big one of the upstairs bedrooms would have been. It would have been quite big. So that would have been one of the windows. You can see the ceiling's completely missing. So it would have been quite a big upstairs bedroom. Now in order for that to be up there, at one point there obviously would have been an upstairs. So you can see that since that graffiti of a nice big chameleon lizard, since then the floor has completely fallen down. And then you've got like a fireplace upstairs. See the old fireplace up there? So this is so obviously that would have been a bedroom. This, I don't know so much. It's just so hard to say what this room would have been. But we have got behind me, can you see that little fireplace? I'll just show you over my shoulder. See it? It's like a little fireplace on the floor there. So we're looking at towards the back of the house, so I'm assuming this could have been like what, a living room? Dining room maybe? Could have been either one of those. It's just really frustrating because I've said quite a lot of times, I hate not being able to give you any information, but unfortunately some of the places I'm going to be taking you, it's going to be like this. But I promised that I'd take you to every single derelict and abandoned location in the whole of the UK, regardless whether it's interesting or not, or regardless if there was anything even there or not. But I wanted to bring you here just so that, you know, it was another place that I could take you. But that will give you an idea. So the graffiti, great big face on the wall, look. As you can see it, and we've got some more at the back there, just there. But you can see how the pipes are still there. It's the wall pipes coming down. And then you've got what's left of a beam up there, just there, look. So that's kind of all that's in the room. You can see the debris on the floor. So we've got some corrugated up sheeting there, but you can see all the bricks and stuff, and how it's overgrown. We've got like trees growing in here. See it? So that's kind of this room. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back out, we're going to go in the middle, and then we'll kind of walk through that way. So how's about we come through here now? If I just, where I'm standing, if I just turn around, so you can see behind me. So that's where we were, in there. So if I just show you behind me, so that's the cellar where we're going to be going in a short while. That's the cellar. So there's no doorway here, so there wouldn't have been a doorway here. This would have been completely walled off. Completely walled off, which makes me think there would have been a door just there, look, in that gap there, leading out into the back garden. So that would have been, like I said, a dining room perhaps or something. Obviously the bottom of the back of the house, mansion, just there the door, I think, onto a patio or garden area. And you can see just by looking behind me, it's just all overgrown. So that's my bag. that's not part of the house, that's my bag. But you can see how it's just been, so this would have been the garden. So you can see, like I said, there's the cellar, and then you've got, so it's looking straight through. So we can go through there afterwards. That's towards what we think would be the kitchen area, or something that way. But if I pan the camera up, you can just see there's like 2 doors there, so there would have been 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms there. I can't imagine 2 doors would lead into the same room, so it would be 2 separate rooms. So how's about we go and have a look? So I'm going to turn around, because that's the safest way. So we're going to walk this way. So if I stand here, you can now have a look behind me. So that's where we've just walked in. So there's the cellar and the steps that go underground, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So as you would come into the house now, the front door, that could have been, I'm not sure if that would, see, that could have been the front door there, or the front door could have been, I wouldn't imagine it would have been there, so that's where we were just a short while ago. So I think possibly that would have been the front door. So you would have come into the passageway. So there's the front door, so you can see the shape of it still left. So you would have come in here, and as you walked in, let's start from this end. As you walked in, you would have come, the first room you would have come to would have been on your right hand side, and you would have come into this room. Now there's nothing in here apart from just a room. You can just see by looking, if I show you. So you would have had, that would have been a window. I don't know if you can see just at the top. You can just see the top of the window frame, just there. But obviously it's fallen through, but I think that would have been a window. And then you've got what's left. I'm assuming that's like part of the chimney or something, I guess. So you've got like, can you see the 2 little things on either side? So I'm wondering if that would have been maybe part of a chimney or something. I don't know. But to me that would have been, looks like the window would have been there. So, but you can just see what the room is like. So it's looking upstairs. So there's a chimney up there. You can see how the beams are still sticking out. But you can see how graffiti's up there. So at one point there would have been an upstairs. So there's another, that's the bedroom door that would have led into the room above us. And you've got all this graffiti. As you can see, it's just totally overgrown. You see all the graffiti there. So this square room here, this could have, again, this could have been just absolutely anything. It could have been, who knows? I'm just looking on the wall to see if there's any wallpaper. Let me just have a look. So if I just take you over, so you can see. So there is kind of wallpaper left. Or it could be, I suppose that could be the paint peeling off. But I don't know, it's just so hard to say. These houses were so big, it could have been any room. But it was definitely wallpapered. Now, I don't, if I can show you, if you look, just up in that top corner, you can see just at the tip of my finger there, look. See that? Now that, when I've lived in houses with my parents and stuff, you always had that kind of little runner that went all around the room, and it was not flush, but it was kind of like that little bit of a patterned kind of thing that you had. So it ran around the entire sort of circumference of the room, and it just made it look neat and tidy. But instead of just having like the ceiling, you had that kind of little patterned wooden thing that went around. So it's still there. So this, like I said, this could have been anything. This could have been, I don't know. I'm so sorry. It could have been anything. So you can see the door. Where were we? There, doorway. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, you come in and you go immediately to the right. You've got a massive gap there, which would have. I mean, that looks like that could have been. I don't think that would have been the front door. I could be wrong, but I don't. I wonder if that was a windowsill. Maybe we've got like a wooden block there. So I'm wondering if that was there would have been like a windowsill and a window, maybe. So who knows? This could have been just anything. Could it have been a front room? Could have been a storage room? Could it have been a... Who knows? Who knows? But that obviously definitely would have been a bedroom upstairs. So, I'm so sorry. That's all I can kind of tell you about that. Let's go. So we've come out. So we're now walking in a straight line. So let's go. We already covered the room in there. So how's about we go into this one? So we've come, if you like, in the house, and we've gone that way, and we're now this room behind us. So if I just show you, have a look in here. Look, I mean it's totally overgrown, but you can just see. So you got, there's the chimney in the far corner, so you can see how it comes down. Look, at an angle. You just see there. I'll just show you. You can kind of see the chimney. But yeah, this is what's left of this room. Again, you've got another great big kind of window or something there. There's like a little kind of, I don't know what that is. It's like a little larder, like a little cupboard. And that obviously is another fireplace. Just in there, look, because you've got a chimney above it. But again, this could have, who knows what this could have been for. Who knows? It's just another room. It's not very interesting, is it? I'm so sorry. But I can't definitely say if I don't know, but I just thought I'd show you around this massive house, and it is really big house. So that's that room. So we've got two rooms that we don't know. Like I said, front room, dining room, living room. We've got the one we've just been in. We've been in 3 rooms. So we just I don't know. So let's go this way. Now, this one here is probably the only room that I think I know what it could have been. It's quite a small room. I would say either a washroom. I don't think it would have been a kitchen because there's nothing, mind you, there's pipes over there, they could be water pipes. This is the only tiled room in the whole house, so I'm thinking this was the bathroom. And then you've got a similar room of the same size above it. You see that? So could that have been an upstairs toilet and a bathroom? But you can see it's tiled both sides. Even though it's got graffiti on both sides, you can see it's graffitied, but it's got tiles. So the only rooms that would be tiled would be kitchen, but it seems a bit too small for a kitchen, and there's nothing to really kind of. Yeah, I think it's a bathroom. You might have had a sink on that ledge. See, there's like a little ledge there, and the original window frame is still there, and you can't see it, but I've taken photographs. So don't worry, I've taken photographs all in here today. Right at the end there's the original little window catch just there. The end. The window frame's still there. It's blocked up, but it's still there. So sometimes you had like a sink right in front of the window, and then the bath. If there'd been enough room for a bath, possibly down the side here, maybe. So I think that might have been a bathroom, or maybe it just had a sink and a toilet, and the bathroom was upstairs. Because bathrooms tend to be upstairs sometimes, don't they? So maybe the bathroom was upstairs. I don't know. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so that's that one. So we've already looked at 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms. And then upstairs, I just kind of show you. So we're kind of standing in the middle of the corridor a bit. So if I show you, so that's where we came in. So we've got 1 bedroom. Now, to me, that looks like where the stairs would have been. See how the staircase has left a mark in the wall. So I think the stairs would have run from there, up the wall, across the landing, and then up another flight of steps. That's what I think, because you've got the basement or the cellar underneath. But you can see how the stairs have left, and there's actually some nails sticking out where the staircase would have been. There's one there, like there. But to me, that's where the stairs would have gone up. She would have gone up to there, across the landing, to there. Then you would have gone up the next flight of steps that would have taken you immediately to the first bedroom, which is there. Then you walked across the landing, bedroom number 2, up there. Quite small. No, actually, that could have been. Who knows? That could have been 1 big bedroom. So you've got 2 doorways, that one and that one. Now, that either could have been 2 separate rooms or 1 big one. But I can't imagine 2 doors leading into the same room. But you never know. So you've got either 1 or 2 bedrooms up there. You've got 2 doors there. So you've got bedroom would have been above, oh, where are we? Bedroom would have been above that, and the second bedroom would have been above this room. Then if you turn, upstairs toilet or bathroom maybe up there, and then you've got that one. So you can see there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5, possibly 5 bedrooms, 4 or 5 bedrooms upstairs. So it would have been quite big. So that would have been up there. And then that's just to give you, I'll just pan the camera up. Oh, don't want to make it too dark. But you can kind of get an idea of how big this house is. So looking all the way around. So you can see. So out of the whole house, that's the only bit I know, the staircase. That's it. And possibly a bathroom or shower or kitchen behind me. That's it. I'm sorry, there's not much to go on. Okay, so we're going to go into the last room. So this last room possibly could have been the kitchen area, simply because there is a fireplace in there. Now, it could have been the front room, but it also could have been the kitchen. It's a bigger fireplace than the other one. That one in there is quite, if I show you, that one's quite small. One in here's a bit bigger, and there's like a chimney above it, so it could have been the kitchen. Could have been. So we'll just have a look in here. So this would have been what we think is the kitchen. If I just take it over, we'll just go over this way, and that, I think, would have been possibly the kitchen bit. So if I pan the camera up, can you see? Oh, so there's the chimney up there, goes right up to the top. So if I just lift it away, you can see the kitchen, or the chimney, and it comes all the way down, and then you've got that. So, like I said, front room, maybe kitchen, and like a big kind of, almost like a stove or fireplace. It's quite big. You can see it's quite big in there. But yeah, it's quite big now. If I just show you what this house is like, can you see that there? Look, that is a crack running the whole height of this house. So you can see how that part of the house is literally, if I show you, leaning slightly. So that's how demolished this house is and how much it's fallen apart. So that, believe it or not, is a crack, and it runs all the way up. And you can see how it's, see, all the way up. So that whole section, that one, is leaning forward slightly. I'm probably going to give away at some point. But it's literally, I'm looking right into the crack. And it's separated. If I, you see how up there, just up there, look, can you see? See it? How it's separate, separated. How it's split right up to the chimney. And it's just that, a gap. And you can see daylight through it as well. So that part of the building, at some point, is going to fall forward. I'm just staying here. So that's kind of this bit here. Now, this is the only room that's got wallpaper. I'll just show you. So, look, can you see that? Is it? I'll show you. This has got all the wallpaper in here. So, would a kitchen have wallpaper? So it could have been the dining room, because it's got wallpaper. But there's quite a bit of it left on the wall there. And you can see, again, you've got like the runner that runs across the top there, just underneath that beam. But you can see the beam where upstairs would have been. So there's a door coming into the upstairs bedroom. That's to give you an idea of how big this place is. You can see how scaffolding is precariously holding up. You can see how the scaffolding's gone into that crack to hold that wall up, and since that scaffolding's gone in there, it's cracked. And it's literally just there, and you can see the scaffolding I don't think it's even holding it up because it's leaning forward. It obviously must have been holding it at some point, but it's leaning the other way. So you can see this house or mansion is extremely old. And I did say to you that there wasn't really much I could show you, I'm afraid, and I'm just so sorry that you haven't really been able to see anything apart from some graffiti on the staircase, well, what's left of it. But I just want to take you into every single abandoned place, no matter how much or little there is to see, and no matter how much or little information there is. I want to make sure I take you into every abandoned and derelict place. It would have been interesting to know what this would have been used for, what it's called, and what it was used for. But it's, even though there's hardly anything to see, it's an impressive house. I mean, it really is. I mean, it must have been such a gorgeous house in its heyday. You know, all like wallpapered and decorated and lights and, you know, this is somebody's house. This is somebody's home. I'm standing in somebody's house at some point. You know, somebody lived here, a family. You know, I mean, how, you know, who were they? Were they a well-off family? Were they a large family? You know, did they have connections to somebody who, you know, did they have a connection to a factory, or were they something to do with a canal and keep, you know, or a keeper or something, or, you know, was it a farmhouse? Was there a farm here at some point? You just don't know. It could have been anybody, but to think that I'm standing in somebody's house, and I'm standing where at some point they may have actually been a table in here with chairs. You know, this could have been their front room. This could have been, you know, where they ate. You know, what kind of music did they play, and like I say, what do they look like, and why so many bedrooms upstairs? Were they a big family that they needed a house this big, or were some of those rooms for guests or visitors? We just don't know. Well, you know, we're talking about Victorian people. I mean, they could have just been a very well-off family. It's just crazy, really. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you down to the cellar. Now, hopefully the signal will stay. I might not be able to show you all of it because it is pitch black down there, and I haven't got my torch with me because this was, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, a very sort of lastminute.com kind of thing, really. So I haven't brought my torch, but I'll go down there and I'll kind of point to you. So how's about we go down to the cellar? So this clearly says to me that this definitely was a well-off family, or it was not just a large house, but a mansion of some kind, because it's got a cellar. A wine cellar, clearly a wine cellar. It may not just have been used for wine, it could have been used for storing household appliances and, you know, like a shed kind of thing. But there's a cellar downstairs, so how's about we go and have a look at the cellar, and then I'm afraid that's all I've got to show you. Like, there isn't really anything else I can show, there's nothing else. Now there is a shed outside just over there. Now I'm not going to take you out there, and I won't broadcast from there, but I will go and have a look afterwards, and if it's interesting, I'll take some pictures, and they'll be on my Facebook page later, along with all the photographs that I've taken today. Okay, so don't worry too much. So how's about we go and have a look at the cellar, and then we will call it a day. Alright, so let's go check out the cellar downstairs. So we are just going to go down there. So you've got a little flight of almost like stony steppy things, so just bear with me. Right, I don't want to let go of you, so I'm going to hold on to you and hold on to the wall a bit, because it's a bit kind of, okay, like I said, they're not the safest of, oh, so you can see, if I just show you, if I just turn around, so you can see it's kind of like a little arch shape, and if I show you the stairs, and then there's like debris and things. Now that's a big boiler of some kind. There's a huge boiler right there. Now it could have just fallen off the wall. It could have, I don't know, but that is actually a boiler. So let's go underneath, and I'll show you. Now hopefully we're not going to lose the signal. Hopefully not. I just wish I brought my torch with me. I haven't got my torch in my bag, so you can't see anything, can you? Look. Okay, so you've come down the stairs, down there. Right. Now don't worry. Where? There. Hang on, I'm just guessing. Hang on, let's go back this way a bit. Okay. I'll stay just here. Okay, so I'm going to spin you around quick. Okay, now you can't see, don't worry. I'm pointing to it, but I've... Okay, in there, can you see my arm? There. Okay. In there is a tiny little room. It's probably the size of a closet or a wardrobe, probably maybe a little bit bigger than that. So as you come down the steps, you've got this, it's quite a big area just where I'm standing actually. So there could have been stuff and appliances, or storage area here. So you've got a little kind of, right at the end, you've got a little room. As you come down, it's on your right hand side, and like I said, it's like a little rectangle shaped. There's no door, it's just a little rectangle shaped room. There's no shelves in there, there's nothing to say that, there's no little platforms or anything. It's just a bare, tiny, rectangle shaped room, so they could have stored stuff in there. Now the biggest room, don't worry if you can't see, see where my finger is there, look, there. Okay, if you go in there, you go into an arch, oh excuse me, I've got a shiver then, an arch shaped doorway, and as you go in, you come into this L shape, so it goes, as you go in, it goes to the right. It's a great big cellar shaped room. There's nothing in it, it's just completely empty. At the end you've got another two rooms. Straight ahead you've got a very small identical closet shaped room like the one that I'm just described to you. On the left and on the right you've got an L shaped room, and in there's a little platform, like a little ledge, like almost like a solid shelf. It's about 2 feet off the ground, and it runs along 3 walls, because obviously the 4th wall is where the doorway would have been. So you can kind of stand on that and take pictures in there. So I've took pictures in there, but they're just empty rooms, but it's a huge cellar area. So like I said, this is quite impressive to think that this is underneath this mansion, and it's just like, you've got this is quite a big area with the steps, even though there's a lot of debris on the floor there. This is quite a big space here anyway, but then you've got the little closet room there, and then you've got, see it? The doorway into the big room. I don't know if you can see the window. Can you see the window in there? Look, see it? Oh, if I move my big head out of the way, I'm going to see it. Okay, so let me just go. You see it? There we go, look. There. So you can see the window that goes out to a little shaft back outside. That is a huge room. And like I said, in there you've got a little room on the left, a little kind of closet room, and then to the right, like I said, the little kind of L-shaped room. And that's a little bit bigger. So it's quite impressive really. It's quite a big area. But this is a typical Victorian underground style cellar, arch-shaped. So yeah, I just wish I had a torch, because I'd actually kind of go in there, but I haven't. Sorry. So, don't like it when I come to places and I hear noises. I don't like it. Do you remember when, a little bit like when we went to the last broadcast, when we went to the DBM factory, and I heard that bit of glass, and I actually went back on that broadcast, and you can clearly hear that the bit of glass either being thrown or kicked. It's a piece of glass. I don't like it when I can hear things. Okay, so how's about we go back upstairs, and you can see the shape of the cellar. It's like a typical arch shape. Now in there is nothing. That's just a brick wall just there. So that's where this thing is. Look, this big steel. At first I thought it was a safe, but I think that's a water tank or something. Okay, so how's about we go back upstairs into the mansion, and then we'll finish the broadcast. So come with me, and then we will call it a day. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we're going to finish there, because there is nothing else I can say, and there's nothing else I can show you. So as always, thank you so much for joining me Influence of Times as we carry on, as we continue on this quest in search of Britain's most abandoned derelict places. Thank you so much once again for taking giving me some of your time in your day to watch me. And I know you must think, like today, you kind of watch these broadcasts and you think, oh, it's not really anything to look at, it's just an empty house. Very true, it is just an empty house. But I really do want to cover absolutely every single possible, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I mean, we will be going, I'll be taking you not just to places like this, but I'll be taking you to castle ruins and priory ruins and things where there really probably won't be much to look at all. However, I want to keep my promise to you, which was that I would take you to every single abandoned and derelict place, regardless of what the place was, whether it was a mansion, a house, a factory, whether it was a castle, doesn't matter. I want to take you to every single abandoned and derelict place in the whole of the United Kingdom, because I want to take you on a journey, a personal journey, where I can interact with you, where I can talk to you face to face, kind of, and where you can sit back and relax from the comfort of your own home, so that you don't have to do any of the travelling and you don't have to do any of the research, because I will do all the hard work for you, so you can sit back, relax, and just take half an hour of your day to watch Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. And we will be going all over the United Kingdom, I promise you. And we've got some amazing places coming up this year, so stay tuned, keep watching. Certainly keep up to date with cam drone photography, because I cannot wait to start filming very soon. Now, I did say that the 3 films that I'm going to be bringing out, the last one's going to be called Synchronized Paths, which is where I'll be filming in some of the abandoned and derelict places using my drone. So I can't wait to start using my new drone to start filming in some of these fascinating places, and also to give you live broadcasts from my drone so that you can see just what it looks like, what Britain looks like from about 300 feet in the air. So, I don't need. So, stay tuned. Thank you for joining me today. I'm hoping you found this interesting, even if just a little bit, but it's certainly, as always, my pleasure and my privilege, even though it means I've got to be out in the cold and the wet and the wind. It's my pleasure and privilege to have your company for half an hour to take you to Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. So from me and this abandoned and derelict mansion in Stourbridge, enjoy the rest of your day, have a fantastic week, and I will look forward to seeing you very soon. Now, it's quite possible that on Saturday I have actually got the weekend off again. So on Saturday, possibly, if it's a nice day, I will be taking you to our next location. And if not, it's possible, if it's a nice day, that you might just get a bird's eye view of what some of Britain looks like from the sky. So I'll either see you on Saturday. If not, I will see you very soon from our next location. And I already know where that next location is going to be. And all I can say is that it's going to be extremely dark. So I'm going to need my torch, because me and you are going to go into another one of Britain's most abandoned and derelict railway tunnels. So until then, whether I see you Saturday or at a later time, thank you so much from me in this mansion. God bless, you take care, enjoy the rest of your day, have a great week, and I will speak to you very soon. Thank you for joining me, Infants of the Tide, as we continue to embark on this fascinating journey as I take you into these fascinating hidden worlds. So, until then, thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.